I came across this newspaper article. It was posted on the 19th of June 2020 in the Highway Mail. That is a newspaper for communities within the highway area. Westville, Pinetown, all the highway that stretches in those areas. Hillcrest is also involved here. Marin Ridge is part of the highway area as well, and all of the areas, I'll say within the inner west area of Durban. So it got a little bit of coverage. The headline reads, "Assault on woman riles community." I don't know if this was a play of word, because the name of the person who assaulted Daniel Maestri, his name is Ryle Steenkamp. So many of us in the community know him. He's not a person that's unknown. However, Danielle, not many of us knew her. I'll say I've seen him with a couple of times, but I never ever spoke to her. I just used to greet him because I was familiar with him. So, but I was happy that the community got involved, and many of the people, many of the leaders, there were church people there. They were from different churches. There were people from different political parties, and the community policing forum, and also the police were there, and many other community members that were concerned about what was happening. So there are things that we are never get to see, because some of the guys were at the bottom of Gemini Road, and there were people that were also involved in doing a march there at the bottom as well. But I am happy that the community got involved and showed that, hey, we get behind women. You know, as I'm reading the story, and one of the people who is mentioned there, Neville Skieff, he says that he was shocked to see how Danielle was looking, and that she was beaten throughout the night, and that neighbors were afraid to intervene. So they decided to contact the community policing forum. So I know Danielle's neighbors are ladies, so it won't be just that easy for them to just intervene, but at least they got involved by calling someone that is more stronger than her boyfriend, you know, because she's a woman, 20 years old, quite young. She's got so much to look for after she studies. So we thank God that she was not destroyed permanently, because there is healing that can take place in her life, and we trust God to just restore her completely so that she can continue. I see here in the newspaper that she was a final year administration student. So she seems like a bright young lady that has so much going on for her. That's good. So hopefully the good that God has intended for her life will continue to increase, and we hope that she doesn't get destroyed permanently. But I know that the Lord is good, and we trust in His goodness. We're gonna keep praying for her and women like her, young girls like her, young boys, whoever it is that is going through abuse, gender-based violence. And I know we're not only gonna focus on the woman, even the men that are going through difficulty in the situation. We also praying that they also find a way out. So, but I know that the problem is more with us guys than it is with the females, because we are quite stronger than the females. So when a man beats up a woman, it is visible than when a woman beats up a man, because even if the man is stronger than her and he doesn't want to fight with her, he can always just hold her or keep her away from him. But when a woman doesn't want to be assaulted, and if the guy is stronger, then it becomes a difficult problem. So who beats up somebody the whole night? You have to be really, really upset with that person. I've never been able to understand how a man can just do that, to actually assault a woman the whole night, as if the person has committed a heinous crime or something. Now, I'm not saying that it is a good thing for you to beat up somebody if they've committed a heinous crime, but you can see that this guy, if he claims he had loved her, it is not the truth, because you cannot do something like that to somebody. All right, if parents is disciplining their children, it mustn't border to a point where it is abuse. So there is ways to discipline people or to deal with issues in your life or between two people, but that kind of behavior is not allowed. We don't want it. I wouldn't want my sisters to go through something like that, and I hope they know that they can call me anytime and I will be there to assist them if something like this here happens to them, because I don't want no guy to think that he can do that to somebody in my family. I treat them with respect. All right, we've had our issues in the home between us. I make my confession in my books. I used to ill treat my younger sister when I was on drugs, but I've made right. I've learned to be a better older brother, because that is my role. And I've got other sisters that are older than me, but I am the only boy in the house, and I will defend them with everything that I have, because these are my sisters. And but besides that, we also got the ladies that are outside of our households. We should treat them the way our sisters would be treated when we speak to people. So the way we would like our sisters to be treated, to correct myself there. So there were people there, even our the ward councillor, Reginald Boy Clutie. I had a chance to interview him for a short while. I think I might have posted it on YouTube. The interview, or once on YouTube, it was on my Facebook account, the page, a Basil Green entrepreneur and author. So I had a chance to ask him to say just a few things regarding the gender-based violence. So it is a good thing, and we are looking forward for more things like these to get cleaned up. This is just a start. I would like for you to say, when you're reading this article or you're listening to me, just think that assaults on, move the word woman on there, riles, and move the word community there, and put something else there. Put your name for the word woman, and put maybe your community for the word community there. So it is important that we try and put ourselves in other people's shoes if you have not walked down that road, so that you can also not get involved in something like this. Guys, we know that we get upset, we are strong, and sometimes we want to prove our manhood by by showing that we can discipline women, and it's not good. I'm saying that it isn't good, because it is not our role as men to do something like that. We are protectors, not people who others need to protect women from us. So this is the story that we are speaking. And we've also had other people there. I didn't get the lady's name. The counselor, I just shot a video from far. Her name was Mina Lisoma, and I managed to get a short clip of her saying a few words. And Wayne Ring, well, he's Pastor Wayne Ring to me. That is my former pastor. I used to go to his church, and he also said something, but I never. After Pastor Clive prayed in the F section, it was the second time praying, quite close to where my grandfather's sister stays. I shot the video there by Flat 74 in the video, one of my YouTube channel. So you will see it on this YouTube channel that you are watching, or if you're watching this on Vimeo, you will be able to see it on the Vimeo channel, or you can go to YouTube to see that. Remember, if you want to see the rest of the event or the march, you can go onto my Facebook page. So I know I've had a lot of struggles, a lot of challenges regarding what I do, because there are people that feel I should be doing something else. But God is my witness that I'm going to continue until I get to the end of my race. But the video that I shot of Pastor Wayne Ring, he's also a member of Parliament. He was praying, and he gave a short word of encouragement. It disappeared off my phone. I don't know why, where it disappeared to. Hopefully it will find its way back onto this phone. But I was happy that there was a lot of other people that were there, and the people came back in droves. We commend all of the leaders. It shows that our leaders are also interested in protecting young girls' lives. So let us make it a little bit more safer. I remember when I was in Cape Town in 2018, I had a chance to go to one of the SAPS events, and a lot of people were getting their promotions there. They were receiving promotions. I was at the Haven in Paarl. They picked up some of us from there. I didn't know what we were going and do. They just asked me to come along, and I went along with the people. And when we got there, I was happy that I was part of. I managed to witness the event, because it shows that there are people doing some work. There are people receiving promotions, and the leader, the head man of the police force, Peggy Tele, was also there. And one of the things he spoke about, he said, South Africa must become so safe that women must be able to walk around at night without any fear. So we want to make this place a safe place for our sisters. I call woman my sister because we are part of one family. We are all children of God. We are created by God, and these are like our sisters. Now, in a sense that we have to look after them and make sure that they feel safe when we are around that. And if something happens where women are not safe around us, sometimes we don't do it deliberately, but we try our best. If we're becoming a problem, try and make the woman feel safe and say, okay, hey, this lady don't feel safe around me, so you're gonna have to find a way to make sure that she is gonna feel safe around you. Okay, that is who I am, and if something goes wrong, then you must know that it is not me acting in that way. I try my best in my life to just be a gentleman, because I made that decision when I was young. I was never a person that like to make women feel lower. Even if they do something to me, I try my best to either walk away and make sure that I don't go to a point where I am gonna end up in the situation, because any one of us can be in the situation where we beat up a woman. But I don't want to get into that. I don't want to also just judge Ryle, because he's a human being. We believe that we all have weaknesses, and he is someone that needs help. So if he ends up in jail, he must utilize everything that is there, because he had recently killed somebody else. It shows that there's something that is broken inside of him, because he hadn't learned from his murder. So something needs to, one of the governments has to step in. That's why police are there, to protect the community from individuals like this, that have no way of controlling themselves. They get sent to jail as a way to reform them, not to destroy. Now we know the prisons are full of people that are very dangerous. We've been to prison ministry. I had a chance of going with Pastor Tanya. She took me and a couple of other people when I was still assisting. I call them Auntie Jean and Uncle Elmond Carroll. They assist the community the community with dealing with drug addiction. They deal with the drug addiction in the community. So they've got a program that they run with young men who are addicted to drugs. So they've helped quite a few young men get off sugars or wunga or nyaupe, if you know it, but they got different names. So they've helped quite a few young people on that, and also other kinds of drugs. But we are fighting something that is destroying our communities, and this is one of the things that is destroying us. There are other things that are destroying our communities, like drugs, that is coming into the community and making young people's lives go in the opposite direction that God wanted or intended them to go. Excuse my English, sometimes I just make mistakes, but you kind of understand what I am saying. So I'm gonna say this, that pick up for Marin Ridge community and those that have come from outside of the community, just to stand with Danielle's mother, Michelle Maestri, that they are there, they are standing, we are supporting, we are making sure that she is also protected. That even as Ryle was locked up and a case was opened, that the family is also protected after that. Hopefully, this will be a lesson for him. I know Ryle likes to talk to him. I'm actually quite disappointed that he would do something like this, because I thought he was quite a cool guy. That's why I used to talk to him, But when I found out he was doing things like this, I couldn't understand. But I'm not going to place judgment on him. Why? Because he is a human being. There's something that is broken inside of him that needs to be fixed. And only God can fix that. Hopefully, somebody that knows him, that gets to hear this message, because we probably won't see him again in the community, because the community is probably upset with him. So I don't know where he's gonna move around. So I don't know what's gonna happen, or if you're all gonna see him, that he must give his life to Jesus. Jesus can help him, like he's helped many of us get out of the other things that were causing us to behave in the wrong way. So we trust God for him also, that he will get saved and he will turn around. There will be a turnaround. Maybe he'll have to go to jail so that he can meet Jesus there. Sometimes when we're doing evil and we are abusing people, we are causing havoc in the lives of the people, God has to intervene. We're praying for that. And God got different ways of intervening to show us that you need to change, because your life and your actions are actually destroying people. He killed somebody, and that somebody I know was his friend. And I'm not saying it in a judgmental way. Thereafter, he came now and he's beating up his girlfriend. Then there's something wrong. If you're going to be behaving in this manner, you need to change. God needs to intervene in your life. And we are praying that God intervenes in his life. So, God must just get a hold of his heart. And in a situation where he must sit and God must continually speak with him. So if he ends up in jail, he must utilize all the resources that are there. Why? Because the citizens of South Africa, or the tax-paying citizens of South Africa, are actually paying for him, and this is an area most people are not happy about. Like when the people go into jail, they get 3 meals a day. It's a way for the government to say, we haven't given up on you. I'm saying that we haven't given up on Ryle. He needs help. So God must send people to go into the prisons to deal with the things that are hindering him from actually living the life he's supposed to be living. I know that he was working a very good job. I think I've given him a lift once or twice, a couple of other times where I had a chance to speak with him, and he's got a fairly good skill. If I remember properly, it's in welding or boiler making. There's a lot of young guys in our communities that have that skill, and he was coming from work. But now, he's gonna lose out on all of those things. So we are trusting God for even him and men like him that are in the prisons or facing criminal charges, that God will grip their hearts as well, to make sure that they are able to stand. I'm not perfect. I'm walking with Jesus because I know I need his help in my life. So let us understand that he needs assistance. So violence doesn't solve violence. We must try and find a way that we take him or people like him and get them to change. We are standing in the community to make sure that we save at least 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. If we can save all, then it's a plus. But the amount of people we can help, we must help. Even in the prisons, there just need to be a cleanup, because when these guys get taken to prison, there has to be a strong arm also there to make sure that the corruption that is in the prisons. See, the corruption keeps the guys in crime, and it makes them think that crime pays, but crime doesn't pay. We need to be able to stand and say crime does not pay. Crime does not pay. So when they're in prison, they are there to change, and they are there to be reformed. So there has to be stricter measures that have to be taken. And I'm praying that God gets rid of the wardens that are corrupt in the prisons. We've watched documentaries. We've watched how the drugs and all the different kinds of things, male prostitution, that the wardens are selling the young boys and all of these other crazy things that are happening in the prisons, keeping the cycle of crime going on when these are men and women that have been given authority and trust over our prisons. So those people also need to be sorted out. That place also needs to be sorted out. And I believe our government must go into those places as well. If we get a chance, hopefully God will keep opening up doors for us to go in and talk to prisoners, and do some programs so that we can pull them out of those places. And I was happy to see, when I went into the prison ministries, I saw some guys, they were sharing their stories, it's saying that they can't wait to come out of prison. Why? Because they found Jesus there, and now they were trusting God to come out and become productive citizens in society. You are not a productive person if you are causing problems for other citizens in the country. If you are hindering other people's progress, you are hindering our country's progress. So we need to progress as human beings here in South Africa, and we are trusting God to get rid of those people as well if they don't want to change. That those who are hindering others' progress in our nation, in any other way, we have to make sure that we don't have people like that, because one person who is not progressing, if they don't progress, they're going to turn to crime. And what ends up happening when they come into crime, there's another problem that is caused. So we don't want all of those things happening. You rather get removed, you rather sit down, have a break, go on holiday. If you got emakaya in isiZulu, elaleni in isiXhosa, your homestead in English, your farm, or whatever you like to call it, you go there and you spend time just thinking about your life. Hopefully God will come and meet you in that place of solitude, so that you can come back into society. Or even if they send you to jail, they must send you to jail so that you can sit and have some time to think about your life and how you treat other people. So we don't want you to come and do that to our citizens as well. So we trust in God for a mighty, mighty, mighty shift. Yes, I am a motivational speaker. Yes, I am an entrepreneur. Yes, I am an author. But most importantly, I am a servant of the Most High God. I am a follower of Jesus Christ. And my number one job is to obey the Lord. And this is something that I feel I needed to do so that He can be glorified and more work can be done. We are praying. We are trusting God for a change, a massive change. We are trusting God for revival to come into South Africa. I know some people will say sometimes you just go into preaching. I can't help it. This is how I tackle things. I tackle things in the natural by doing practical work, and then I tackle things in the spirit by doing spiritual work, praying, speaking, preaching, motivating. I do all of those things, writing, doing entrepreneurship, all of those different things I do in order to make sure that the will of God must be done as it is in heaven. Now, we don't do it in a way to force people into it. We do it in a way that will encourage people to come into it. This is Basil Green speaking. I hope I get to share some more information, and so that you also see, I'm doing this to provoke you to action. That's the main reason I'm doing it. If nothing happens, then I failed. So even if it's just one person that gets provoked to action, you will do a good job. I don't know who am I speaking to, but goodbye and until next time.